Hi, this is Corella again. And once again, I was talking maybe the last video, I don't know how it's put into YouTube, but in the last video I was talking about the most exciting prefixes, suffixes, and roots, which is not the most exciting unless you're a grammar person. And now I'm going to talk about something that's as super exciting as prefixes, suffixes, and roots. And those are consonants and vowels. And I guess you wonder, why would I talk about consonants and vowels, right? Because probably the people who are listening to this, they already speak English and they already know what a consonant is. They already know what a vowel is. So what possible importance? Oh, my dear. When I teach English 1, okay, and I teach other languages, but basically when I teach English 1, and when I even teach the other languages, and I'm doing the first level, I start with the most basic, the letters, right? And you know why? Because a lot of times there, in the letters, the secrets of understanding jokes. You know, let me see if I can say this correctly. Double entendre, you know, when things have two meanings. Understanding why words are so crazy, right? How is it possible that, let me give you an example. Okay. An example would be, why is it that meat and meat, M-E-E-T, and M-E-A-T are pronounced exactly the same. So you could say to me, okay, I get that. All right, so the E-E-T and the E-A-T are pronounced E. And you know the word eat, right? So that you're thinking, okay, I can form a rule here in English pronunciation. E-E-T and E-A-T are pronounced exactly the same. Now, I guess if you were talking about a normal language or a language that wasn't so mixed with other languages, that would make sense. But we know it doesn't make sense, right? Because we know that B-R-E-E-D, which is breed, and B-R-E-A-D are not pronounced the same like M-E-E-T and N-E-A-T. And we know that because we know how to pronounce these words, or at least I know how to pronounce these words. This is breed, and this is what you eat when you have a sandwich, bread. And so this is pronounced like this word. In the past tense, I read the article, and this word, as in the color, red. So how is that possible? E-A-D, E-A here is pronounced E, and E-A here is pronounced E. That's the secret of English and understanding vowels, consonants, and diphthongs. A diphthong are letter blends. It's a fancy word for letter blends. Two letters, when they come together, the sound that they make. Let me give you another example of a diphthong before I go into vowels and consonants. You have the word K-N-O-W. The diphthong would be the O-W. So now you have the word know, and it's pronounced like flow, or grow, or sow, right? So logic would tell you, okay, in English, when you have the diphthong O-W, then the pronunciation is O. But but you know that's not true. You know, in English, none of it's always true. Example would be, just take the N-O-W out from the K-N-O-W. So I'm going to take the part N-O-W. Now, this is not pronounced no. This is pronounced now. Ow. It's pronounced like cow. Ow. It's pronounced like bow. Ow. Right? So what's going on? That's the secret in understanding vowels, consonants, and diphthongs, letter blends. Let's get to it. The rule of thumb, don't ever forget this. In English, all vowels, A, E, I, O, U, all vowels have more than one sound, one pronunciation. That's extremely important. Some have more than two, right? But more, all of them have at least two pronunciations. One pronunciation is called long, and the other pronunciation is called short. When children are in school, they're taught that when a vowel has its long pronunciation, it says its name. Let me show you when I mean it says its name. Let's look at the vowels. The vowels in English are A, E, I, O, and U. Sometimes Y. The Y is crazy. Sometimes Y. When the letter is pronounced in the word the way that I actually say the vowel, A, E, I, O, U, that pronunciation is called the long pronunciation, or as the children say, the vowel says its name. Let me give you an example. In the word hate, the A says its name. In the word Pete, E, the vowel says its name. In the word live TV, the vowel says its name. In the word hope, the vowel says its name. I'm trying to think of, because you know, a lot of times with the U is sort of crazy too, in which the vowel says its name and it's with the U. Because a lot of times for the U to say its name, it's spelled O-O. Let me just think about it and I'll come back to you. Oh, doop. Oop, oop. The vowel says its name. Oop, oop. Okay. All right, now, so, but that's not the only pronunciation of the A, or the only pronunciation of the E, or the only pronunciation of the I, or the only pronunciation of the O, or the only pronunciation of the U, especially the U. The U has so many crazy pronunciations. Let's look at the word hate. In the word hate, the A says its name. But if I remove the E, the A now changes its pronunciation. It's no longer pronounced A, it's pronounced hat, the short sound. I can do the same thing with Pete. I remove the E, now it's P-E-T, and it's no longer the pronunciation of E, P, it's pet, The E doesn't say its name, it now has a short sound. You also know, depending on the word, almost every vowel, no, every vowel, not almost every vowel also has, depending on the word, where it's silent. It doesn't say its name at all. And it doesn't say another name. Let me give you an example. You have the word boat. That A is not being pronounced. What's being pronounced is the O, and it's long. But the A is not being pronounced. Oh my goodness, how many times do you have the E being silent? In every one of these words, hate, for example. The E, no pronunciation at all. And the Y can be crazy because the Y has the sound of both an consonant, as in young. Let me just erase this here. Let me write the words down for you so you can see what I'm saying. Okay, so here the Y is a consonant, ya. Usually when the Y is in the beginning of the word, it's a consonant. So as in y, that's the sound, young. But the Y at the end of the word or in the middle of the word, as here, it all depends. Here the Y has the sound of the long I, by, I. Here the Y, another sound entirely different. E, happy, sloppy, Billy. Okay. Now, why is that important? It's important because if you understand that a vowel can have more than one sound, then you can understand how it's possible that a word can be written exactly the same and yet have a different pronunciation. Let me give you an example. Remember, the I has two pronunciations. It has the long pronunciation and it has the short pronunciation. Now let's look at a word that's written with the I. And in one of those words, the I is pronounced long, and another one of those words, the I is pronounced short. L-I-V-E, L-I-V-E. Let's just imagine, because I'm going to just say that this one is live. Here the I is the long I. You have the same word, well, it's not the same word, it's the same spelling, L-I-V-E, but here the I, instead of being long, it's short. It. So now it makes sense. Now it makes sense that you have two words that are written exactly the same, because you know that this I has more than one pronunciation. And some words in English will write the same word, but because you know that the I can be pronounced I as in live, and it can be pronounced it as in live. These are called homographs. It makes sense. These are called homographs. Two words that are written exactly the same, but are pronounced differently. But in a language such as English, where a letter has more than one pronunciation, you can imagine there are a lot of homographs. In our next video, we'll continue looking at vowels and consonants. And maybe then that is boring and it's uninteresting and insignificant as a lot of us might think. Thank you. This is Kerala at KeralaFicklin.com and welcome.com.